Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Heart Astrology Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about how Mercury is going direct on the same day as this Gemini full moon. And we got some interesting fixed star alignments taking you on a little journey here to the Orion constellation. And then Caitlin's going to be taking us over to the Pegasus constellation and talking about some fixed star alignments that we got happening there with this full moon energy. Also, stick around at the end. We are going to be doing some free mini readings. I myself am a tarot reader, so I pulled some cards ahead of time, and Caitlin will be sharing some beautiful galactic oracle cards. So it will be really cool to see how our cards come together for these readings based off of your sun and rising sign. So stick around for that. If you guys are new here, welcome to our Heart to Heart Astrology Podcast. We are Granddaughter and Grandmother, and we join together usually twice a month. This time we're just doing one video this month because of the holidays and stuff going on. But check out our last video that we did because it does cover Mars retrograde, which is happening. And it's really happening this month on top of Jupiter retrograde and Mercury retrograde. So check out that video. I'll put a link in the description. So I am based in the UK. I'm Adriana. I've been doing oracle divination pretty much all my life since I was a kid, actually. But I have been an intuitive tarot reader professionally for almost 5 years now. And now I'm a Galactic astrologer and past life reader.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and been involved in metaphysics in one way or another my whole life, and just love astrology, love galactic astrology, and love working with Adriana to do our heart-to-heart astrology. And I'm based in the U.S., and I can do galactic readings. I can do regular, traditional astrology readings. And we're also Reiki masters, my husband and myself. So we have a lot of offerings that we do, and we'd love to meet you and appreciate you being here and excited about today's video, definitely.
If you are familiar with us, welcome back. Please do share our videos, even this playlist that we have of our podcast. Please do subscribe to our channels. My channel is Starry Sky Readings. Caitlin, yours is Bhakti Galactic Healing. Our channel links will also be in the description, of course, too. Also, thank you for checking out the Galactic Astrology YouTube channel if you're watching it from here as well. Let's get right into it. So I just want to do a quick check-in. How is everyone feeling with Mercury retrograde? Comment down below. Let us know how you're feeling because as usual, it's been a bit of a crazy one, especially with that Mars energy. How are you feeling, Caitlin?
Oh gosh, we don't want
I
to
know
go.
you've had surgery rescheduled. That was a big thing.
And surgery. So it's been a challenging year, definitely. And we both have cancer in Capricorn. We've been really hit this year with stuff. There's no doubt. And so anybody else out there with that combination, I'm sure you understand. And so just kind of getting through and just doing the best you can. That's all you can do. It's the combination of the Mars retrograde that came in on December 6th that's really upped everything. It's being kind to one another, I think, is the most important thing we can do right now. Kind to the grocery checkout person, and being kind to others it's just a great way to live.
So yeah, let's get into these alignments here. So we have the full moon in Gemini is happening December 15th. Right in the middle of the month here at 4:01 a.m. Eastern United States time. So it will be 5 hours ahead if you are in the UK. And this moon is making a conjunction to a lot of fixed stars actually in the Orion constellation, but particularly with fixed star, and hopefully I'm saying this correctly, Alnilam at 0.03 a very tight orb. Also making a tight orb to Meisa at point 11. So I will quickly share what this chart looks like for those of you who enjoy looking at galactic charts or just any astrology charts here. The moon in Gemini here, and here's all these fixed stars in the Orion constellation. We also got a fixed star called Capella. But yeah, I really wanted to focus in on Alnilam with the energy I was getting there. But overall, too, generally, I will talk about the Orion constellation and what exactly does this mean. Now, if we look at it here, we see the vertex also is conjunct the moon. So there is a faded energy taking place here. And of course, the sun is in Sagittarius. It's Sagittarius season. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. Okay, so what does this mean? The full moon in intellectual Gemini aligns with this energy of Orion, particularly, again, with that fixed star Alnilam. And this holds the nature, that star Alnilam, holds the nature of Saturn and Jupiter, expanding on our thirst for knowledge, especially aligned in the sign of Gemini. So it's really intensifying that intellectual energy going on. I think of the moon card in the tarot deck, and it shows the moon with the wolves howling at it. I'll try to insert a picture if I can. Especially so with this full moon, because I feel this message coming through of hidden information revealing itself. And in that chart too, the full moon was in the 8th house where it starts off. The 8th house is all about hidden things, going deep. There could be something here with that going on of hidden information. And like I said, it's conjunct the vertex, so there is this faded energy taking place. It is part of a T-square. So with the sun, of course, since it's a full moon, but also with Neptune, as that is the square it makes. That's the challenging point. And what that means is with that Neptunian energy, it can be very mysterious and deceptive, kind of like that moon card energy from the tarot. So with this alignment, it stresses a key enlightenment of some kind, and anything that was delayed during Mercury retrograde to come out in full swing. This could mean some sort of hidden information revealed through the media, like on social media, even here on YouTube, so you can see all kinds of videos. With Orion represented as the hunter in Greek mythology, this could relate to news about maybe global events and conflicts. But don't worry, I feel it's more of a positive actually than negative. Since we're dealing more with Orion's belt, this is where the star Alnilam is located. And Caitlin, you talked about in a previous video, a few videos back, how it's called this string of pearls, right? The Orion's belt referred to as a string of pearls.
Mesa. I'm pretty sure it was Mesa. Yeah.
I think it was Alnilam and Mesa. They're part of that, if I'm remembering correctly. But this is a good thing because it gives it actually a more of a positive omen. So it could be revealing, I feel, this is me intuitively, a kind of truth hurts situation perhaps, or even suppressed knowledge coming out more mainstream. This could be things that a lot of us type of people maybe already know. We got a lot of things I'm hearing. I don't know if you have been, Caitlin, but I've been hearing lots of stuff about, ETs and UAP sightings and UFO sightings, all sorts of stuff. So Pluto is in Aquarius now, so that energy is, I think, definitely coming in strongly. So who knows? Could be something to do with that even. Let's get more personal. This could deal with getting aligned with our emotions and how we truly feel about a situation, especially since Mercury retrograde has ended and has now gone direct during this full moon. So that should be a big relief at least. Was there any important lesson that Mercury taught you during its retrograde? Reflect on that. Reflect on the past few weeks, and you may actually see a situation more clearly now with the bright light of the Alnilam energy and this Gemini full moon. Also, on a personal level, we have to be careful with this full moon as to not be too hot and cold with our emotions. We might be more prone to that at this time. Some people might kind of switch off a little bit or maybe even switch on. So just, be mindful of that. Be thoughtful of your words, especially if it's a important conversation that needs to be had with anyone. Alnilam is said to rule the diaphragm, actually, so which is located below our lungs and is the major muscle for our breathing. So I do feel this is an important message of taking a metaphorical deep breath around this full moon and slowing down, but maybe quite literally also taking deep, mindful breaths, breathing through each day or whatever situation you might face. So I actually wanted to see, Caitlin, would you want to go through just a very brief, quick breathing exercise just to help
Sure.
get us grounded?
My husband and I do what's called pranayama, is the Sanskrit word for breathing exercises. And we do about 4 of them every morning and in a row. We like to stream them together. But for somebody that maybe has not ever done any breathing exercise or pranayama, you might just want to be able to realize it's like if you visualize this whole part of you is like this balloon. And then as you're inhaling, you're blowing the balloon up. So a lot of people breathe backwards, and that causes stress. That's Western breath. Eastern breath is inhaling, expanding the balloon, and then it's like the air is kind of like coming from the lower lobes and then coming all the way up to the clavicle. Then when you exhale, it's like the air has come out of the balloon and then it recedes, and then you feel your belly come back towards your spine. And that's just a deep abdominal breath. That's an Eastern style breath. That's very conducive to releasing stress. Okay, so let me demonstrate how to do just a simple deep abdominal breath. So we're going to visualize again the balloon that I described before. So just inhale through your nose, maybe about 4 counts. And then as you exhale, you're exhaling through your nose as well. And you're just letting the air slowly out of the balloon for another 4 counts. And then again, a nice inhale breath in. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. Expand like the balloon on the inhale. Exhale. Let all the air out of the balloon. And that's what it's like. Very simple. All right, well, I'm going to get us started now with talking a little bit about, again, this alignments that's going on December 15th, 2024. Again, it's our full moon in Gemini, and it's at 23 degrees, 53 minutes, and the sun is in Sagittarius at 23 degrees, 52 minutes. And we're going at 4:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what's interesting is when I plug that into our galactic calculator, which is free, by the way, that you can go to galacticastrology.com, as I can't remember.
Galacticastrology.com.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you. And so anyway, I found this very interesting square, this interesting alignment with the fixed star Markab, which is in the Pegasus constellation. And we did talk about that in some videos past. For more detail, maybe we'll include that in our description to get to that video. But what happens with a square, it can be more challenging. Just the idea of if we're squaring off with something. So with the sun in Sagittarius and the moon in Gemini, and both very Cazimi-like, they're very close. And Markab is at 23 degrees, 49 minutes. So it's creating super tight orbs between the sun and the moon. So there's like a 3-minute and a 4-minute. So the Cazimi is like being in the heart of the sun. And it's very, very tight conjunction. But let me talk a little bit, kind of review just a little bit about Markab, which is also known as Alpha Pegasi. It's a blue-white star, and it's about 139 light years away from Earth. Um, and Markab shares energy similarities with both Mercury and Mars. So that's very fascinating since they're both currently in retrograde. And when they're in retrograde, it means that they're closer to us. We may feel them more prominently when there's a retrograde. So Markab and the Mercury in Sagittarius and Mars in Gemini are giving that very air-like and fire-like traits. But what's great with those types of traits, our souls can grow from those. We can learn lessons. We can move from that. And all wrapped up in this is the fact that Mercury in Sagittarius is going to station direct on December 15th. So we have a lot going on that day. And it'll be at 3:56 p.m. So it's just a short time. What is that? Like, when is that? It's 4:02. Was it a.m.? Oh yeah. So it's within like 12 hours or less than 12 hours. So very, very close with going direct. And when something like that happens, there may be more of an energy movement forward. So if we've been in very constrained situations prior to this Mercury stationing direct, we may feel of a freedom of movement. Sometimes it takes a little while. It may not be like right on that 3:56 p.m., but over the course of several days, we may see some shifts and changes. So when we have an alignment with Markab, the fixed star Markab, this can bring many lessons involving rage and loss of emotional control. So that also correlates with the Mercury and Mars in retrograde. And again, Mars will continue in retrograde all the way into February. So Mars is a good 2.5 months of retrograde. But we will have a little bit of sense of freedom from Mercury lifting back to direct. So let me talk a little bit about Markab and what the star means. Its word is translated as, the Arabic word, I'm sorry, translates as saddle. So the saddle on the horse. So this saddle is associated with Pegasus, the flying horse. A saddle and reins are used to control a horse and direct the horse where you want to go. So with a square in both the sun and moon alignments, there may be a challenge in controlling the direction you want the flying horse to go. So Markab may bring opportunities to learn how to set healthy boundaries, not just with others, but also with yourself by engaging an inner process toward enlightenment. So again, when challenges come like this, I don't look at it as like, oh, I'm doomed and gloomed and all this. It's an opportunity for growth. And we are in a very powerful growth stage these next few years. So the sooner we get on board, get on that horse, get the reins, get on that saddle and start flying, even if you're not going exactly the direction you intended to go in the first place. Sometimes the universe is taking you over here because it's a shortcut. And we would never have been able to figure that out. That's how the universe works. So, but this constellation of Pegasus is very freedom-oriented, adventure-oriented, exploring new horizons. So again, you may feel a pull back on the reins and a constriction of being saddled with challenges. But as soon as you allow and kind of like even maybe let the horse have a little bit of lead there, it may take you a better direction. Be open to that. The square alignment, again, with Markab is, again, with the sun and the moon in a super close conjunction called a cazimi, which is the heart of the sun. So again, we may feel a little blocked even with our psychic gifts and strong sense of intuition. We may feel a little bit of a closing off from our freedom or independence, or even a spiritual connection to the universe. But please do not despair. That is temporary. It's very temporary. And don't allow it to throw you from the horse, so to speak. We don't have to have a fall. uh, we can still stay on that horse. And again, it's just a redirection, which, as you know, Adriana, with any type of retrograde, it's asking for redirection, review, redo, relax. Okay.
Reassess, reflect, yeah, re everything.
So we're going to begin now to look at the free mini readings that we're giving you today. And Adriana and I do mini readings if you want a very personalized one, or we can do longer readings. We can do all of that. And we're going to do it today with all 12 zodiac signs. I am going to come from the perspective of Alyssa Royal Holt, and it's the Galactic Heritage cards. These are phenomenal. There's 108 cards, and I was able to pull 12 that associate with each sign. And it's just, I'm just impressed at how accurate these cards are. It just kind of blew me away. And we're going to have an interesting experience as Adriana is going to do the tarot for each sign. So you're going to get really 2 mini readings per sign is our plan for today. So
yes, and I can't wait to see how my tarot corresponds with your Galactic Heritage card. So this will be interesting for us even to see. Please don't forget to like this video. Comment down below what resonates for you too with your reading. And please do contact either of us if you are interested in a mini reading. I actually do mini 3-card readings. Obviously, I can expand on more and any other type of astrology reading. So yeah, contact us if you are interested in getting more into detail and personal with you.
Well, let's just dive in right now and see what divine cosmic help is on the way for each and every sign. So as we go through these, we're also speaking to your sun, your moon, and rising signs. So you will definitely want to go down. Adriana always puts the timestamps and on all 3. And then coordinate that. Look at maybe even journal from the 3 and go, okay, where am I seeing patterns? Where am I seeing a way forward out of these constrained, squaring, challenging feelings? We're going to start with Aries, suns, moons, and risings. So the card for you is this one. It's number 34. Let's see. I'm going to try to get this because I know with my background, I hope everybody can see that. And it's called the Solar Consciousness card, and it relates to our solar system. And this is considered the higher self card and is one of the most powerful for personal evolution. So with this fixed star Markab square happening with the sun and the moon again, sun in Sag and moon in Gemini, my guides say the best place, Aries, to put your focus is on connecting to your highest self, not as a fragmented or separate energy, but rather as an integrated part of the whole of pure consciousness, as a source of all that is. So you may be guided to feel connected to all, capital A-L-L. So if you are connected to all, any challenges may disappear or resolve. So it's all about solar power and in relation to your 3rd chakra. So if you stay connected to higher self as all, you may have the opportunity to evolve your choices from personal will to divine will. And another interesting alignment for you, Aries, is with the lunar node, which is in your sign and is in opposition with the supergalactic center, which means supergalactic center is in a conjunction with the lunar south node in Libra. So the zodiac sign Libra in its higher form is very much about being in harmony with all.
Wow. Speaking of harmony,
oh my God.
4 wands for you, Aries. And I mean, that just totally
yellow. Look at the yellow
up with this
color.
Yeah, that totally synced up with that beautiful, harmonious energy here. So there is this message coming through of finding balance, Aries. This could also pertain to marriages or just some sort of divine unions coming together in some sort of way here that I'm getting. But it's this equilibrium, okay, this balancing act here. Things are coming into balance. Very beautiful to see that with the Libra south node there aligning, as Caitlin mentioned. So there, that is the balancing, the Libra scales, right, are being balanced out here into this beautiful union and harmony happening here. So things are looking very stable for you, Aries. So yeah, good thing to look forward to around this full moon. Stable, smooth sailing, yeah, stability happening here. Very nice to see.
As long as they're choosing the higher self and higher levels of all of that. That's what I think too. That's what I'm picking up between our cards. Is that super
Yeah,
important? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this is what you are guided to do. Yeah, to go towards that
Right.
type
Right.
of energy. Yeah.
Step
Find
back.
the balance. Balance things out the best you can. Setting healthy boundaries too for yourself
Yeah, if we
if you
step
need to.
Aries, if you step back into the lower self, you may have some more challenges.
Yeah,
That's
more imbalance. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Yes. All right.
Very
Excellent. Yay.
cool.
All right. So Taurus, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 9. And okay, whoops. There we
Oh,
go.
you disappeared. Where'd you go?
There we go. There we go. Number 9. Whoops, I'm blinking.
Ooh,
How do we get that in there? There we go.
there we go.
Number 9,
Arcturus.
which is called balance and relates to the fixed star Arcturus. You may
Hmm.
need to learn the art of cooperation through working with others. You may desire very much to be the captain of your own ship. However, you may land at a job where you have to work with others. You may struggle with delegating to and trusting others to follow through on projects you are involved with. So, the most important lesson here is to know that with a little help from your friends, your partner, your family, coworkers, boss, the ship will sail with all hands on deck, regardless of the captain, the face of the project, so to speak. So teamwork is more powerful than a dictator could ever be. And the lesson here may be to learn how each individual becomes stronger when there is a support of a group with the same purpose, especially for the highest good of all. So, with the South Node in Libra conjuncting supergalactic center, this may bring a wave of opportunity to learn the art of cooperation. And the fifth dimensional beings of Arcturus have already learned this and are here during this time to help us access the gifts of cooperation. So, true innovation, telepathic yet logical thinking, and evolutionary creatives describe very well some of the gifts of the Arcturian culture, which is often thought of as an excellent prototype of Earth in the future. So, Taurus, you may want to follow these suggestions to release any tendencies of hypersensitivity and hyperresponsibility to connect to your highest self, as well as Arcturian guides to help you to create balance, to create cooperation, and bring galactic support to move forward into the new with less fear, which you may feel with Uranus and Taurus, which is sextiling the fixed star Markab. And finally, and we know about this is not a square, but Markab could be helpful when a sextile is there. Sextile means that we are going to try to get along with the energies. So, so for you, Taurus, the Markab squaring won't feel the same with the sextile there. It's actually a positive. So I would listen back to the part that we talked about. I talked about Markab and the positives about it because I feel that is a gift to Taurus. And then finally, through their own advancement, and this is the Arcturians, as a highly evolved angelic-oriented culture, the Arcturians may teach you how to manifest the ability to experience yin-yang balance through every experience in a unified perspective that embraces the value of diversity. And that's it.
Does this card align to any particular chakra by any chance? Do you know? Or does it say?
I didn't look at it that way, but it would be the heart chakra because heart chakra is very much, it's in the middle. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it is. Yes, it is. That's why I asked.
Love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I love this. This is awesome to see.
We got our new way of doing things. This is too
Yeah,
much.
maybe we should do this more often. This is so cool. Wow, how in sync is that? Yeah.
Wow. I
So,
love
Taurus, your heart chakra is definitely, yes, being affected. There's a pain point here. So okay, let me backtrack a bit. Three of Swords here. This is about a third party situation that is affecting you. I would have to do more of a personal reading to really know this. So I don't want anyone to jump the gun or jump to conclusions by any means, but it could involve relationships, some sort of heartbreak, or for a more generalized reading, which this is, for the collective of Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Risings, there is some sort of pain point that needs to be healed, okay? And Arcturian energy is very healing. So it's no surprise that this has lined up with that heart chakra energy. There is a need to heal some sort of pain point within your heart here. Is there something, it feels like a third with the number three, there is a third party situation happening. That's what this card ultimately means. So it feels like an outside, an external thing almost affecting you. Try to reflect on that. See what that is. Is this something out of your control? But how can you change your reaction to it? Or if it is in your control, how can you alleviate this sword here, that third sword that is coming in here and affecting you in this way? It does feel very external. So there is definitely a healing being called here for you, Taurus. So I'm gonna just tap 3 times that we will reverse this and have healing coming your way here. Putting that into the reverse.
That's beautiful. Okay, Gemini, suns, moons, and rising. All right, the card for you is number 37. And this is called single-minded focus and relates to the constellation of Orion. So the fixed star Markab brings focus on unity, whereas Orion arises from a place of duality. So Orions are focused on improving their surroundings and helping others to fulfill their worldly potential. They are able to balance spirituality with practical action to manifest results in the physical material realm. So Orion star seeds may resonate with activism and may often be teachers of martial arts or may be attracted to even monastic living. There may be a tendency to polarize their lives with being overly controlled and rigid, and then pull to the other side, having no control whatsoever. Many Orion star seeds carry the trauma of their experiences, which were deeply embedded in their subconscious minds. So with the sun in Sagittarius and the full moon in Gemini squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to become fully aware of where you are putting your focus. So single-minded focus can be either positive or negative. So are you focusing on negative self-talk? Are you focusing on fear, false evidence appearing real? Are you placing an unrealistic expectation on yourself, which may lead to self-sabotage? So where you put your focus becomes your God, and that's with the little g, not the big G. Your challenge right now with the full moon in your sign of Gemini, in the sign of Gemini, is to bring single-minded focus to the middle way, the center between the opposite poles in whatever situation is happening right now. And when I had said the fixed star Markab, it's actually the fixed star Arcturus which I was referencing before. So I just wanted to clarify that in that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am getting this message through with Gemini's this icky, I'm not gonna lie, it's a very yucky energy. The Seven of Swords. There is this sense of maybe some particular person or situation taking advantage. So you are being called to be aware of your surroundings at this time of people or again situations taking advantage in some sort of way, taking what's that word? Oh, I can't think of that word, but basically they're trying to take, it feels like they're trying to take credit. They're taking credit for what you are doing. It's like you're doing all the hard work, but they're going off with what they can get out of you. So again, this kind of a little bit with Taurus too, again, was setting healthy boundaries and being aware of your surroundings and also who you involve yourself with. If you can if you need to remove yourself from any sort of groups or situations where you are appreciated, that is big for you. You need to be appreciated and to get away from the more negative, because as Caitlin was sharing too, not focusing so much on the negative self-talk, even maybe even sabotaging yourself and setting yourself up for this. And I don't want to victim blame, but are you putting yourself in a situation where you are being taken advantage of in some way and not respecting yourself enough, perhaps like in work or something, where you know what you deserve and you know that you should be treated in a better way than what you are putting yourself through. So there's something there coming through, maybe for a particular group of you Geminis. So, but ultimately, you want to just be aware of that and also to see the positive side of everything that you have accomplished and what you are doing here. And don't let anybody take advantage of that.
I think what you pulled up there has to do if the Gemini is focusing on the negative only, with their face right up against the pole, so to speak, of the negative pole, and the guidance here with Orion that came through is to get into that middle way and get into that balance. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
don't focus too much on the bad things that are happening. Maybe this is a past energy too that has just recently happened or around this full moon. Shift that. How can you make amends with this? How can you fix things?
Yeah.
And yeah, don't focus too much on it, because then I feel like it's only attracting more bad things to you, which you don't need. So yeah.
Or too much focus on what's going on in the big stage externally and
Big picture.
That's kind of what I'm seeing as well. Well, let's move over to Cancer, suns, moons, and risings. So the card for you is number 6. And this card is called the New Paradigm, and it relates to the constellation of Andromeda. So this card is a sign that transmutation and transformation is imminent, and you are in for some major changes in your life and for planet Earth. It is important, Cancer, to follow your inner guidance protection system. You may feel like you are navigating through a foreign place right now, and that might be because most Andromedan starseeds, we are literally from another galaxy. So it can very easily feel this way. And then also, Mother Earth is going through ascension symptoms, and so are each one of us. So we're even going beyond Cancer. We're into the entire zodiac. A sign that you may be ungrounded and living out of alignment with Gaia is if you are experiencing anxiety or depression. So when you are anxious, you are projecting your energy into the future and trying to control an outcome. When you are depressed, you are living in the past, feeling like you have no control and are not in the present moment. So with the sun in Sagittarius and the full moon in Gemini squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to become conscious of when you need self-care and support from your loved ones. Because what we resist persists. So it doesn't pay to hide in your crab shell. This is false protection, and it'll only dig a deeper hole. So the new paradigm will be based very much around grassroots, back to basics, building of community, and being in a family of light. With the North Node in Aries opposing Supergalactic Center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, there may be a major change from service to self to service for all, capital ALL, period. So that's what I have.
Period. Yeah. There you go. Right in sync there, Cancer, with temperance, all about healing. And yes, that message totally aligns with what Caitlin shared. This is a time for you to have self-care. Just to put it very simply, take care of yourselves, Cancers. Nurture yourself, love up on yourself, get that extra sleep that you need. So your message really resonates for me, being a Cancer rising too. So, and I'm sure you felt it the same way. Yeah, we're getting closer to the holidays. I'm ready for a break. But there's this beautiful angelic energy coming in here, this angel of temperance. I think that really, that energy really goes along with that Andromedan energy. So all about that healing. And yes, self-care is very big here. You see the angel is pouring into each cup here. So taking care of yourself, pouring your own, filling your own cup here at this time around the full moon, and letting yourself relax, let go a little bit. There is this destination here in the background, this mountain here on the horizon. You will get there, don't worry, but you need to take the time to relax and rest, rejuvenate before you get to your destination.
Beautiful.
So,
love it.
beautiful message.
So Leo, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 15. And this is called courageousness and relates to the constellation of Lyra. So according to Lissa Royal Holt, the Lyrans are our forefathers and foremothers. And courage is often associated with the lion and lioness energies, which may describe you perfectly, Leo. There is a great difference between courage and foolhardiness. And with the sun in Sagittarius and the full moon in Gemini squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to realize that in order to move forward into the new paradigm, the most courageous choice may be to let go of the old paradigm. So, what is holding you back from moving forward? What fears are dominating your thoughts and feelings? How is what is happening on the outside affecting how you are feeling on the inside? Courage roars forward from deep inner strength. So it is important to create time for self-reflection and meditation on what personal belief systems are no longer in support of your highest good. Can you find the courage to let go of these beliefs? With the North Node in Aries opposing Supergalactic Center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, there is an energy shift happening to help release the habitual patterns of imbalance of an ailing society. Are you courageous enough to lead the way with embracing the new for the highest good of all?
Okay, so I had to do a reshuffle. I had a little bit of a mix up, but Leos, you also got temperance here. So there is this message of healing for you too, Leos. So this is a time for you to have that self-care pouring into your own cup here, as this angel shows. Being able to fill your own cup, especially if you are trying, or maybe you've had a habit of wanting to please others and wanting them to fill your cup. And I'm blanking on the word. Yeah, I don't know, something there with approval. So if you are trying to get others' approval here, this is your message here of maybe you don't need it. Maybe you can find your own sense of self-worth through yourself here. So you are being called to take care of yourself at this time, Leos. That is what this angel is all about, as well as patience. Having faith in the situation and patience with things. Things will come in at the right time. We have this horizon back here with the sun peeking over the mountains. You will reach your destination when the time is right for you. But now is the time for you to be patient. Be patient with yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourselves, Leos.
That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. I like that. Okay, Virgo, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 84. And this card is called Forgiveness and Gratitude. And it relates to the cetacean dolphin. And according to Lissa Royal Holt, dolphins are sentient beings much like humans, except without the high levels of polarity in their consciousness. So the dolphins may be here to teach you the power of forgiveness from the perspective of unity consciousness, through seeing the big picture of creation and not seeing themselves as victims. even though humans have killed dolphins for forever. And the humans are not recognizing very often their intelligence. These are very intelligent sentient beings.
Mm-hmm.
So this translates and redefines forgiveness into gratitude for lessons learned, and the focus is on how may I evolve from what I've learned. This is what dolphins teach us. And dolphins also, and my husband Enzo and I had the blessing of swimming with the dolphins all the way back in 1998, and it was this.
Mm.
Dolphins teach you to embrace the joy of the moment, which will then dissolve the pain of the past. And I had never to this day felt that much joy in my whole life. And when we went to the restaurant afterwards, after we had this like 45-minute out in the wild encounter that was just incredible, food never tasted so good. I mean, I still have food memories from then. That's like almost 26 years ago.
That must have
Uh,
been good food.
it was the energy that we received this incredible, joyful healing from these dolphins. It was amazing. There was almost 20
Mm.
dolphins we were with. So,
Wow.
so with Sun in Sagittarius and the full moon in Gemini squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to know that what challenges us most may be viewed from another perspective that helps us grow, learn, and ultimately transform into love. And I always identify the word love as light on verifiable experience, which will show us what is truth, even no matter how painful the truth can be. Because love can hurt sometimes. Love truly does hurt at times, but it gives us the truth ultimately. So, with the North Node in Aries opposing supergalactic center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, let's remember that the supergalactic center is a magnetic black hole, drawing to itself all of what is in its path. And this may be how the creational process happens. In fact, Stephen Hawking and others have proposed theories that supermassive black holes may spawn white holes. So, is it possible then that what hurts us most may ultimately help us to evolve the most? So, that's something to think about. Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful message, especially with the dolphins there coming in. So I am getting this water energy. I got two cards for you Virgos that came out. So I was trying to get one per sign, but two came out for you. So I just took it as is. You have this water energy here with the Knight of Cups. So we'll start with that. There is this sense of moving forward. You're moving forward, Virgos. This could have to do with forgiveness, as Caitlin talked about. This night coming in to offer forgiveness. Maybe you are offering forgiveness to yourself here. Maybe this is about maybe self-forgiveness or forgiving a situation and just letting it be what it is, let it be, and you just move forward in the right direction. So it's a very positive, beautiful energy here. This could also have to do with love and emotions here. So you might come in with an offer of love to somebody as well. It's very romantic, a very romantic feeling with this card as well. And this is working in your favor with the Wheel of Fortune here. Very beautiful to see. Luck is on your side at this time with this full moon. This is a lucky omen for success. Things, again, with this Knight of Cups, moving in a positive direction. You're moving towards this Wheel of Fortune, this success. It's turning in your favor. Things are going to work out just fine. So, yes, you have this positive energy pushing you through here, through this full moon and all these energies happening.
That made me feel good. My moon is in Virgo, so that I felt like you're talking right to me.
Oh,
That was
good.
Thank you. I needed that. That felt really good.
Oh, well,
That
there
was
you go.
okay. So Libra, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 106, which is called the force of attraction. and it relates to the constellation of Orion. So Orion holds the key to the mastery over duality, which is integration. Integration may be viewed as an activation of the forces of attraction to magnetize inward all you may need to create a balanced state of being. So remember, there is a necessary process of emptying out that which you no longer need by letting go. And by doing so, you have then created space for the new to manifest. So meditation is a wonderful practice for doing this, as well as emptying out not only the closets of your mind, but you may want to consider emptying out your congested physical closets, drawers, and cabinets. There's something so therapeutic about a good cleaning out. So outer chaos is only a reflection of inner chaos. And the way of transmuting and transforming is through a deep dive within. So with the sun in Sagittarius and the full moon in Gemini squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to focus on attracting ways to balance your life, to eliminate chaos and embrace the power of integration in all aspects of your life. With the North Node in Aries opposing supergalactic center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, this may be a high five for you to take care to find the middle way between these two lunar nodes and utilize the magnetic force of the supergalactic center conjunction in your sign. So Libra, in your sign Libra, to receive all you need for the highest good and then share with others all you have learned. Okay.
Yes, very beautiful message. The Hanged Man is all about becoming enlightened, and like you just wrapped up with your message about all you have learned. Reflect on all you have learned. What have you become enlightened about? Even if it's just small things, this could maybe even be an epiphany of some kind that you have. I also get the message here of something that are you holding yourself back here? See, this Hanged Man is tied up here. They're strung up here. But through that, they actually become enlightened through this uncomfortable process. So have you been through an uncomfortable process recently? But what have you learned through it? What was the lessons that you have learned? And can you release yourself now? Can you come down from this position and come upright again? So yes, this is your message for you, Libras, to alleviate anything that you can. Sometimes I get this feeling like things are out of your control with certain things. Like some things you can't, you maybe just can't do anything about it. You can't change the situation, and that's okay. You can release that. Your hands are metaphorically and literally, maybe, well, not literally, but metaphorically speaking, tied. Your hands are tied maybe in a situation. So, you don't want to try to put too much on yourself with that. So again, reflect on the lessons you have learned.
Yeah. Yeah, that card makes me think of just because it's all going to the head. So
yes.
It's cleansing mental body.
Yes. That's Gemini. That's that Gemini with the moon.
Scorpio, suns, moons, and rising. The card for you is number 78. And this is called Seeing the One with a capital O, O-N-E, and relates to the earth. This card encourages you to stop struggling with conflict, fragmentation, and feelings of separation through seeing clearly without judgment. Are you ready to put down your weapons and realize there is only really one consciousness, which manifests as the many? So I think of Aho Matako Owasin, which is all our relations. Everything is connected. It also, this also makes me think of the movie Avatar and how every being was connected in that movie. And I think most people have seen that movie. I have rarely come across somebody that has not seen that beautiful movie. If you haven't, please see it, because it really I don't think there's very, very many movies that really come across with the amount of unity consciousness that that movie does.
It
So,
does, yeah.
yeah. Lisa Royal Holt channeled an important meditation question with this card, which I absolutely love this question. So ask yourself this: who is the one with a capital O, seeing the one with a capital O, seated in meditation? So as you connect with this seer, know it is only one being who is seeing, and this one being spans the entire universe. And I'll add beyond and beyond. So a wonderful practice is when you're meditating is to visualize from above. You see yourself. You could visualize yourself if you like, you don't have to, but you could see yourself watching yourself in meditation, becoming the watcher, the witness. And it really helps when we're so caught up in the illusion and so caught up in whatever we're fighting and where we feel challenged to let that go. So, and transcending polarity is a challenge for everyone. And as long as we stay in the us versus them mentality, we may stay stuck in the conflict and fighting energies of polarization. So with the sun in Sagittarius, the full moon in Gemini, squaring yet again the fixed star in Markab, it's very important to realize that we are one. It may feel more challenging during this square, especially around December 15th, when the full moon's in Gemini, and Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius stationing direct. So it may be, I feel every sign, this is one of the signs I feel Scorpio will be a little bit more affected. So there's a great Bible quote from Matthew 6:22. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And that's from the King James Version. So these powerful words really describe the power of the perspective of unity. So with the North Node in Aries opposing Supergalactic Center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, if you embrace the wholeness of the dragon. So what is the dragon? The dragon, for us in astrology, the North Node is the head of the dragon. And it's showing us the direction we are going. Not necessarily we should be going, but we are going. And then in this case, that is in opposition to the supergalactic center. And then the south node of the dragon is the tail, and it's the past. So when we look back at the tail, are we stuck in the past? Okay, so it's
the Scorpio tail, like the scorpion, the
yes,
poison.
yes, exactly. So it's time to realize that it's okay to drop all your weapons or your tails or whatever and realize you've been fighting with your own shadow on the cave wall. Think about that. There's really only one. So here's a powerful Mayan saying, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce it correctly. In lak ek ala king translates to I am you and you are me, or you are my other me. It is a Mayan greeting and moral code that is a statement of unity and oneness. The greeting is often accompanied by placing one's hands over their heart. And in the East Indian tradition, namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you in unity. Okay. The many Jaijen in Chinese, Jaijen. And this also is another statement of unity and to go with source kind of energy. So that's for you, Scorpio. And just hang in there. This too shall pass.
Wow, it seems very deep for Scorpios during this full moon. Very cool message that you got there. I am getting through with you Scorpios with my tarot here. Ace of Cups is what I pulled. This is something divine at play. There's divine intervention. And what this beautiful Ace of Cups shows is this overflowing cup here. Your cup is literally overflowing here with love and fulfillment, joy, happiness, all those good feelings. Uh, Water represents emotions here, so it is overflowing here. It does feel like more positive emotions. So blessings are coming in for you, Scorpios, during this time. There's a blessing here. I also see this, the dove here showing peace. So I just really get this sense of inner peace coming in for you at this time, Scorpios. You are being guided to find your inner peace and happiness here. So
Yes.
there's something really, I just feel like this beautiful blessing coming through. Even if it's a small blessing, it'll go a long way. But this is pouring out for you. It's really beautiful to see.
Yeah. That my North Node is in Scorpio. That's another one you just got me on. I feel
Ah,
like you're
oh,
speaking to
nice.
me. I'm getting a
It's all
person.
gonna work out. Go with the flow.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you. Okay. Sagittarius, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 55. And let me show it. Okay. Number 55. And this is called Fusion and Magic. And it relates to the constellation of Orion.
Orion again coming up.
Mm-hmm. So according to Lissa Holt, whenever two forces collide within us, it creates a process of fusion that releases an intense energy for manifestation. This is the basis of what we call magic, the fusion of two opposite energies that are harnessed and directed in a desired way. This is why it is so important to embrace both the shadow and the light sides within us. We then create magical transformation. Embrace your abilities as a magician. So, my guides told me many, many moons ago, and I think I shared this in one of our videos like a long time ago, um, that Orion is the as above to our earthly here, so below. And we humans on Earth are playing out in 3D formed reality, kind of not unlike video avatars that all you young people have played with for years, which I've never done, I don't think. um,
Sims.
But I mean, it kind of is a good example. It's an analogy right there. So here we are, humans playing out what's happening above here on Earth in 3D formed reality. And then, and we're in it, what's taking place actually in the fifth dimensional Orion. Okay. The good news is love has won at that higher frequency. Many of us that do this work are aware of that, but we are still playing out the game, just like you're on a video game and you're doing all this stuff and the avatars are still moving. We're still going through the process. So, which sometimes is not comfortable still, but we've got to hold on. One of the things in creative visualization is you see the end product. So, the end product, love has won. And then we can't control how or when we get there, but we are heading to it. And the sooner we let go of trying to control it and just focus on that positive outcome that's at the end of our journey, we will magnetize towards it so much more easily. So that is a little bit of wisdom there in how Sagittarius to move through this. So it's important also to remember that resistance to integration will keep you magnetically poling apart. So once you embrace change, growth, and the integration of these new ways, the magnetic energies draw both poles towards the center. So if you continue resisting, especially with the sun in your sign, Sagittarius, and the full moon in Gemini squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to dissolve resistance to change. And as a master astrologer, Rick Levine says, flow with the go. You know, people always say, go with the flow. He goes, flow with the go, which means what green lights are the universe giving you? Don't stubbornly stay with only the known and comfortable. Be willing to spread your wings and fly into the new. So this is magical. And with the North Node in Aries opposing Supergalactic Center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, you may want to see what in the past, like a judgment energy you are attached to toward yourself or others, or feeling judged by others, is holding you back from flying into new adventures you know you are desiring. So time to free yourself through surrendering to what is for the highest good. And that's it.
Wow, yeah, that's very in sync with my card that I pulled for you also, Sagittarius. We have the Eight of Cups. Number 8 also represents transformations and changes. So there are some changes happening. Maybe you feel resistant to those changes because you're used to the comfortable. And as Caitlin said, when you kind of feel stuck in the known and not wanting to give yourself the green light or look at the green flags, so to speak, that are showing up for you. So this is a positive change here. So you are moving away from things that no longer serve you. You see this person here, their back is turned, they're heading for the hills here. They're heading in a different direction. So you are heading in a new direction in some aspect of your life. This could be a major change, or it could just be a small change happening, maybe a small shift going on in your personal life. We do have there's an eclipse shown in this card here with the sun and moon. So as eclipses represent, of course, change and transformation. So go with this change. Allow it to happen. Don't feel resistant to it. This is actually guiding you into a better direction. This is all for a reason and all for a better purpose. With the cups here, this deals with our happiness and our fulfillment. So it is, maybe it doesn't feel like it right away, but it is a blessing in disguise. So if you are feeling that resistance to change, Sagittarius, go with it and see where this new journey takes you.
Mm-hmm.
And also, happy birthday.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe you're going away for your birthday.
Well, that's interesting because it looks like an eclipse, but it also makes me think of a Cazimi, which
Yes,
the Sagittarius and Mercury and Sagittarius with the Gemini moon, that's it right there. I'm seeing
mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, there you go.
The sun in Sagittarius with the moon.
Yes.
So
Yep.
awesome. That was another great one. And I think
Also, too,
another sign that's getting kind of hit with this energy too.
I was going to say, too, I think Sagittarius might be getting affected, correct me if I'm wrong, by Pluto moving into Aquarius. I think I read somewhere about that, but don't quote me on that. So, and Pluto represents the change, number 8. So, eighth house stuff. So that could be possible too.
Yes. Well, for sure, we're all being impacted right now because there's so much air across, in the major signs, right? Uranus and Gemini, I mean, all, and then Pluto and
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius, a lot of air flow. And then fire signs, what does air do? It makes a bigger fire, which could, depending on how you're utilizing it, you could take that bigger fire and then put passion into what you're doing, or you're going to burn out. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Right.
it's being careful. Right to Capricorn, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 14. And this one is called The Seeds of Polarity, and it relates to the constellation of Lyra. So in galactic history, Lyra is considered the origin point for all humans. So kind of tune in to what is being said here as I go through this from an earthly experience we are currently in. Because the Lyrans, they say, this is the message I got from the Lyrans. We love you, dear one. There is no doubt your multidimensional souls have lived out through so many stories, and this story is going to shift and change even before we get to 2025. So we shall see. We're not too far away from it. So if you look at the card with the picture more closely, I'm going to darn it, I'm going to try to get it in there a little more closely.
There you go.
Okay. It's being like overstretched. what was once unified is being split, so upward and downward, and there's this little being in the middle that is stretched. Okay, so my guides say that a loving partnership exists in a unified field. And I just feel that's a powerful statement. I'll say it again. A loving partnership exists in a unified field. So this is peripheral awareness, the ability to see both poles at the same time. There is always bitter, there is always sweet. That's because the unified experience is bittersweet. Both poles exist simultaneously, and you can only see it when you embrace the unified field, as in peripheral awareness of seeing the whole. So ask yourself these questions. How can I stay balanced in the middle way when fear attracts me to the worst case scenario? Well, the good news is if you pull over to your deepest fear, because you're in a polarized field, you will eventually pull to the other side. But if you can resist the temptation to go into a state of elation and triumph, and rather move into the centered neutral position, you will discover the loving wisdom of balance and harmony. I'm going to bring this card back. So elation, I would say, would be up in here, trying to constantly be in a joy state. Going down here would be when we are in a more depressed state. So again, getting to the middle position here. This is where the bittersweet lives. So we're not smack up against this pole, smack up against that pole. We're right in the middle, and that's the balance and harmony. So squaring the fixed card Markab again with our sun and moon, it's important to not succumb to the heaviness of challenge. Rather see it as an opportunity to learn the ways of loving acceptance of what is presenting itself in the moment and learning in the moment to be what the moment calls for. Respond authentically and release old ways and patterns of imbalance. We don't have to always respond exactly the same way. That becomes a habit, a habited pattern. So if something happens and we always get angry, you don't have to choose that. You could choose a completely different way of responding versus reacting. With the North Node in Aries opposing Supergalactic Center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, you may realize life is not linear. Rather, it is spherical, okay? And making choice from your center, you can move outward with a unified perspective of the two becoming one. There we go.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's really nice for Capricorn. So, but I'm biased because I'm Capricorn. So are you. And look at our beautiful Capricorn message. So Capricorn, sun, moon, and risings. You are enjoying the fruits of your labor, Capricorns, with this beautiful Eight of Pentacles energy here. So yes, you are feeling a sense of accomplishment. Sorry, I meant Nine of Pentacles there. So 9 is almost at a 10, so almost a full completion. So it feels like you're very close to a goal that you've been wanting to get to. That really resonates for me as well. So nice to see that energy there around this full moon. I also just get the sense of relaxing, nurturing yourself. It's a very nurturing energy here. Being out in nature, you see this woman is strolling through a garden here with this bird here. So I feel like getting grounded, Capricorns, in your earthly elementals, out in nature here, and just enjoying some quality time for yourself. And again, that sense of fulfillment and accomplishment and all the work that you've been doing. So that's a really nice message here. A very even successful energy if you've been working on some sort of project or goals here. Very beautiful to see. Very feminine energy also coming through there. And just, yeah, taking that time for you, Capricorns, I feel like. You deserve a break and you deserve to enjoy the progress you have made. So think about that. Stop and smell the roses, like that expression says. So And maybe you will quite literally do that unless, you're in winter, where depending where you live and there's no roses, but you could go get some flowers. So stop and smell the roses and
We're, we're,
enjoy.
we're planning to visit the botanical gardens in Cleveland, so there's all
Oh, there
kinds
you
of
go.
flowers there.
Oh, that'll be
And
nice.
corn,
Yeah.
so it'll be warm there.
Yeah, nice and humid. Looks like yeah, like here, looks nice and warm.
Yeah, love it. Okay, Aquarius, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 65. Okay. And here we go. Let's see if I get it in a good position here. Is it staying there?
Yeah, if you have it right in the middle, it looks like
Good.
in the
Is
middle
that
of you.
okay? Which is called Refining Galactic Lineage and relates to the constellation of the Pleiades. This is a very interesting card because the Pleiadians have been involved in genetic refinement projects for eons. And you, Aquarius, with your scientific, technological, and innovative ways, are always trying to improve yourself on all levels. Lisa Royal Holt says, we are one consciousness expressing itself through many bodies. There is no separation between us. Time and space are illusions. So please know that when you walk a conscious spiritual path, you affect others and ensure the evolution of the galactic family. It is important to understand that your integrous conscious actions will ripple outward and impact the greater whole. So when one person evolves, so does the whole. So with the sun in Sagittarius and the full moon in Gemini squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to realize that every epiphany you receive is here to dissolve illusory challenges that you may believe are holding you back. Also, with the North Node in Aries opposing Supergalactic Center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, take care to not become self-absorbed, pulling towards the Aries North Node, or pulling back to the Libra South Node and getting stuck in perfectionism and martyr feelings about helping others. Stay in the center, enveloping both lunar nodes. Be the whole dragon, seeing the big picture, and you may heal your past and create your future from the present, which is the only thing that's real. The present moment is the only thing that's real. And so that is.
Yeah, that syncs up with my Aquarius card here. Now, I pulled this for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. You have Five of Swords. Your message here is you can't win every battle. You can't win every battle here. Now, some of you might be these people here walking away from this battle that you can't win. You have to sometimes just let go of things that didn't work out the way that you hoped it would. But if you are the reverse here, if you are this character now, that kind of goes back to what Caitlin was saying when you said about not being self-absorbed, going away from that. So we have two different energies happening here. So yeah, you don't want to fall into that type of energy or behavior to where you are feeling like you can't help others and you're going to take what you can get. But you also don't want to be the victim here and being in that sense of victim consciousness, just feeling, putting yourself down that you couldn't win that battle, so to speak, whatever it might have been. So find that middle ground there and do what you can. If you can help others out in the process, by all means do it. But, you have to also take what you can and not be too hard on yourself with that.
So, Pisces, suns, moons, and risings. The card for you is number 4. And this will be our last one. We made it through our 12th sign. Okay. This is called confusion and relates to the constellation of Andromeda. So according to Lisa Royal Holt, we often feel safe and secure when things stay the same. When things change, we feel a profound sense of confusion until we can realign ourselves in the new reality and build a map for navigating it. Many life lessons are really just patterns played out with different actors, yet the roles and stories parallel one another. Look for the commonalities in these stories of your life. Realize you are the one actor that is in every story. Confusion may dissolve when you finally realize this truth. Call on the Andromedans. They are masters of change. Realize that change is happening every moment. In fact, every moment is a created parallel reality, and the choice you make will align with the timeline you are choosing in that moment. The way to dissolve the confusion is to create a safe anchor that goes with you into every parallel reality and timeline, because it is always within your conscious awareness and not lost in the external world of confusion and chaos. Maybe that safe anchor is your faith in knowing no matter what, a positive outcome will manifest. Knowing this, you may relax more and allow the journey to unfold as it will, and yet know there will ultimately be a positive outcome. So, with the sun in Sagittarius and the full moon in Gemini, squaring the fixed star Markab, it is very important to not confuse illusions as being truth. Ask yourself these questions. Have I lost contact with my internal compass? Am I choosing fear over love? And also ask your Andromedan guides to help you find divine clarity with loving discernment. So with the North Node in Aries, opposing supergalactic center and conjuncting South Node in Libra, focus on the power of the supergalactic center itself to help you magnetize to you the gifts of true and divine clarity in all aspects of your life for the highest good.
Beautiful message for Pisces.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to just call back to what you said about a positive outcome will manifest. And we have the Magician here for you, Pisces. This is your card. This is your message. The Magician is the master manifester here. So a positive outcome is coming your way. It is manifesting at this time. It's kicking off during this full moon in Gemini. But I'm getting intuitively that it's going to come more into fruition as we approach the new moon at the end of the month. We have two new moons, funny enough, actually, in December. So the next one is actually at the very end of the month, I think even on New Year's Eve. So what a way to kick off the new year for you, Pisces. Yeah, something is coming in for you and it's starting to happen, and the energy is building its potential during this full moon energy, especially as there is this galactic alignment with the sun in supergalactic center. So it really is magnetizing for you what you've been wanting and what is meant for you. So there is definitely, yes, double confirmation there from both our messages. A positive outcome is manifesting for you, Pisces.
And the Magician is perfect for Pisces because there is the master of the fantasy, dream, wet realms, the magical place. Absolutely.
Very in tune with the spiritual realm.
Very.
If you choose to tap into that.
They have to watch to not get lost in it.
Yes, and like you said, don't get lost in the deceptions. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for joining us and for being here. Wishing everybody, Pisces and whoever's still around, happy holidays. And we will see you in the new year, 2025, coming your way with some more astrology.
Wonderful. Namaste, everybody.